Welcome to another episode of Kibitzers. My name is Peter.
I'm Jackson.
Awesome. And so, today's another Thursday night, and we have our meetups where we have free play on all our games. What games do we have on tonight right now?
We have Capcom Fighting Evolution, apparently. It's way in the back there.
Yeah, I've never even seen that before. Never seen it.
Capcom Fighting Evolution came in after Street Fighter 3 Third Strike during the lull period of fighting games.
It seems okay, though. It's like a mixture. I've never seen the dinosaur guy before. I don't know who the hell that is.
Yeah, it's basically Capcom's version of King of Fighters.
Okay. Oh, but you can't switch in the middle of it.
No, it's like one-on-one, but each character has their own system in it.
Yeah.
So it plays more like Mugen, in a way.
Okay.
As weirdly as that is.
Yeah, I just had a quick round there, and it felt like Third Strike, and
Yeah, because there is Third Strike characters in there.
yeah, well, it plays like it most of the time, right? So
It's using I think the same style as, or at least the character art from Capcom vs SNK 2.
yeah, there's very limited characters though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 16, 20? Maybe?
Yeah, I think that they didn't have very much time to build that game because there was another game that they built in a 3D engine, but that got canned, and this was the result.
It's like we're going broke. Let's throw out something.
Not
insinuating anything.
Well, if you want to think about it, they kind of repeated history with Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
threw it out there. Yeah.
Anyways, that's another topic.
Yep. So we have a topic, Jackson's topic.
This is a topic that I've been thinking about for a while. I read an article about how certain YouTube groups and types of videos have the same kind of tone, voice, or accent, and that's how it kind of draws views.
Like the Australian and the English accents.
Yes, so people like to listen to that tone of voice.
Oh, for sure.
And the way they and how certain people enunciate words.
I never really noticed the enunciation. I noticed it's just more like interesting to hear it than kind of like your standard English.
Yeah, like when you listen to these videos, this is not the kind of voice that you normally hear people talk. Like in normal conversation, you don't speak in that way.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, even not just YouTube in general. I think all media's going towards that.
Yeah, it's a performance. It's a performing kind of voice.
It also makes your brain start, for some reason, thinking about what they're saying.
Yeah, because the way they speak makes the person who's listening focus on those kind of words.
Yeah.
So they emphasize certain vowels or syllables and whatnot.
Like a big cell phone company like Virgin always uses, like, if you listen to the radio things, it's always like, I'm not sure which accent it is. I don't want to get that wrong, but definitely not your standard English, and definitely there's an accent in there, right?
Yeah.
So, and the standard one is usually, I feel like either British or Australian. That type of, it's closer to around those two.
Yeah, for the North American demographic, the other nations' accents are more exotic to most listeners.
Oh yeah.
So they're not used to listening. So if it feels kind of neat to listen to it, I guess.
Oh, for sure. Or automatically focus on it just even for the normal socializing part between males and females, you'll be more attracted to, well, I am usually more, I'm not saying general, I am more attracted to someone with an accent than without an accent, right? At the same time, it also depends on what they say and how they say it and all those other things, right?
Yeah. So while I was reading this article, they kind of trace it back, or at least hint at the way carnival barkers speak back in the the early years, like when carnivals were around.
Is there an example of that?
You know how like hear ye, come one, come all, come see the bearded lady, that kind of speak.
That type of thing. I see what you're getting.
Yeah,
at.
like the YouTube accent is what people would call it, is like a softer form of that, where they try to project or bark or get people's attention by the way they speak.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Follow the Carney code, yes.
There's no written down code for that.
No.
Yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, this is I guess if you're if we're attracted to that, I wonder on their end, are they using like Canadian accents over in in England or like Australia or something like that?
Well, yeah, like in United States, at least if you go further down, like in
Yeah.
Southern California and whatnot, they can pick out Canadian accents.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
I can see that.
like, like me myself, I could not tell a Canadian accent because we live here. But
Well, East Coast and West Coast, actually, there's a bit of a difference.
there's also a bit of difference too. But when I traveled to LA that one time, when I started talking to people, I noticed that I have an accent. I like listening to everyone else around me. It's like I sound different.
You've always sounded different, though.
Well, yeah, like when there is a Capcom studio here in Vancouver, and they did Dead Rising.
Mm-hmm.
So when Dead Rising 3 came out, they used the local voice crew here in Vancouver. So when people started listening to the voices in the game, they immediately picked out they're all Canadian voice actors.
It's like, damn it. It's supposed to be South African or South American or something.
Some part of the United States.
Yeah, but... Well, I guess they could hire better people, but, it's just...
I don't know. It's whatever the local talent is.
Right, whatever it is. But, it's important that, it attracts the bigger crowd, right?
Yeah.
So... I guess for the U.S., they would pick out the Canadian, the British, and the Australian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they actually use that down there because, it's a totally different media system. Well, I feel on some levels,
Yeah.
that they, to sell you whatever they're trying to sell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
yeah, I found that kind of interesting to read for a short while I was waiting for the bus.
Waiting for the bus.
A lot of the articles I put on my phone to read for later.
I've probably got a million more where that came from.
Yeah, it's a nice little app. It's called Pocket or Read It Later. I think they call it that now. So like you just save an article. It's kind of like bookmarking it for offline reading.
Yeah. So a second topic, closing off that topic, right, is rage quitting. Something I'm very good at.
Oh, so this is completely different.
Rage quitting.
Yeah.
When you're playing any game and you suddenly, usually an online game, otherwise it's not really rage quitting because only you're rage quitting. If you're playing a multiplayer game and you just quit, then it's called rage quitting.
Yeah. So what brought this up was that in Street Fighter V,
All
there's
the
no
Street Fighters for me, not just Street Fighter 5.
but in recent news, like Street Fighter V, there's no punishment for rage quitters. Capcom has did not implement any sort of form of penalty for people who quit during their match.
You can win 100%.
Yeah, so that's basically why a lot of people are rage quitting in Street Fighter V because they want to maintain their win streak.
Oh, that's probably I bet you the pros do that too, though.
Maybe.
Uh-huh.
I can't tell for person to person, but for me personally, I don't really care.
Well, they're all aliases.
Yeah. Like,
Otherwise, they'd be
most
using their
people
real
don't
name.
learn anything by rage quitting. They just want to maintain their records, and at
Well,
any
no,
point, the Capcom could just immediately erase the leaderboard.
That's also true. Yeah.
So in recent topic news is like Capcom was enlisting the player base to record rage quitters and submit it to Capcom so they can pinpoint behavior habits
Mm-hmm.
and see if they can actually implement some way of punishment. And they're doing this manually right now.
Oh, well, in most cases, you just take it as a loss, right? Like
Yeah.
in most standard games is you quit, you lose.
Yeah.
Right.
So right now, I think their punishment system right now is like if one person is a habitual rage quitter, they're just going to reset their scores to 0.
Well, I don't think that's cool.
No, that's not cool, and it doesn't really matter if they like.
But I think they should just take a loss, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of accounts, like in some RPGs, if you die or like if you quit, like your character stays online for an additional 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So that the monsters just kill you.
Yeah. So if you play any Dark Souls or any of that kind of game, they have an online almost near constant checkpoint save system, so like you can't rage quit. Like if you try to rage quit, you lose all your progress.
Which is also annoying. Yeah. So rage quitting, but it's been happening since even before Street Fighter or whatever.
Any sort of online play.
Yeah, well, even just 2-player games. Like I've done it. Well, at home. You play against your brother or something like that,
Yeah.
and you're like losing. And you're like, screw this.
Yeah, you just get up and leave.
And you just get up and leave. You're like, fuck it. Like, beep.
Oh yeah, an arcade rage quit. That was fun.
Yeah. I did that at the arcade. Like, I was playing Street Fighter something or other. I was just playing around myself, and somebody challenges me, and I'm not even trying to be cool. I'm just being myself, just trying to learn something. And they just challenged me, and they totally, destroyed me in the first round.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, fuck it. Right? So, instead of get up and leave, I just get up and leave. And they're like, they're like, oh, like you're not there anymore. I was like, because, I'm going to give you second round. But, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was trying to play myself. I was just trying to play against the computer.
Yeah.
Right? That's your before online rage quitting. Right? You're talking about traditional rage quitting, when you had Mario Kart. You can Mario Kart and rage quit.
Yeah, you just turn it around and drive the other way.
Yeah, just drive the other way. It's like, forget it. This is stupid. I'm going backwards.
My rage quit was Max Tune.
Oh, Max Tune? Ah.
I'm about to win. Some guy turns off the machine.
Oh.
Oh, that guy rage quit.
That guy rage quit by turning off your cabinet.
Wow. Did you get your... isn't there a card for that?
Yeah, just ejects the card when you plug it back in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you call him a dick? I call him out on that. That's just stupid.
Yeah, like most cabinets nowadays, like if you turn off the machine while you still have a credit in play, they just give you that credit back.
Well, actually, I've never had that happen to me, but...
No, I've seen it in several cases where like there's an accidental power down and you're in the middle of a match or whatever, and then when it turns back on, like the game knows that there was a credit in the machine and just give it back to you.
That's good. But, back in the traditional days of rage quitting, it's just like slamming your keyboard or like throwing your controller at your person sitting beside you.
Or just like straight up punching them in the shoulder.
Yeah, boom, ah! That was always good.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you do that in public, then, you will end up fighting each other. It's not very good when you're fighting each other.
There were cases of that in the 90s with fighting games.
Yeah, well, and that's why a lot of arcades got a bad rap for these things. People habitually, started fights in these arcades, and it became not safe.
Yeah.
And then now speaking from experience, a lot of local governments don't like arcades because there was so much bad stuff going on in there.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you just, going back, like going to an extreme, there was a case in the Lower Mainland, not saying which city, which area, but they were playing a game of CS.
Oh.
Yeah, and CS, everybody, and it's a LAN, right? So you're all at the internet bar, you're like going at it, and you're just like totally destroying because you're pro, right? Like you're destroying everybody with your AWP or like, single shot kills.
For those who are uninitiated, CS Counter-Strike.
Yeah, like not 1.6. You're talking about like 1.5 and before, right?
That's old,
right? And you, I don't know why you would do this, but you start trolling the guy, even though he's in the vicinity of you.
Yeah, like
that's not smart.
No, you just like whip out your knife, start swinging it.
Yeah, right. And you knifing the guy is one thing, but you beat him, and then you start trolling about it at the internet cafe, and he's in your cafe.
Uh-huh.
All right, that's just if the guy rage quits, he knows where you are. He's gonna go look for you because you're gonna be focused on playing on your game.
Yeah.
In any case, in that situation, that guy actually pulled a gun and shot him and killed him.
Yeah.
They never caught the guy. That's why internet cafes are frowned upon in the Lower Mainland, besides from Vancouver.
It's a den of certain habits.
Yeah. So not people, but like governments automatically associate that as a negative thing, and then it's like, oh, one bad apple, you're all bad apples.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why, and that's some of the difficulties we've had, rage quitting to an extreme, leading to like someone dying, and then now everybody who's plays internet cafes or there are troubled people and whatnot.
Yeah, it attracts a certain type of crowd by the access they have.
Yeah. So that's like I said, the rage quitting to an extreme, right? You could just quit and you just pay and you can just leave, right?
Yeah, that's more of an anger management at that point.
Wow. when you're shooting somebody for beating you at Counter-Strike because he's trolling you, that's also an anger management issue.
Yes, that would be anger management.
Right, so it brought out a lot of, but in recent years, because of the massive multiplayer online games, like the cell phone games, even cell phone games are multiplayer now.
Yeah.
Like people are managing their anger, a lot better. I'm not saying that it's by playing the game you get better anger management, but you have to loosen up if you're gonna play the game, because there's always somebody better, someone, especially on these games and whatnot. Like you can oh, this guy's always attacking my city or something like that, right? The guy could be paying $100 a week just for the maximum packages.
Yeah, like you pay to win.
You pay to win, right? Pay to win. Like Counter-Strike, you can't do that. That was purely skill.
Yeah.
At the same time, just because you beat the other team at basketball doesn't mean you dance around and showboat or whatnot, right? Good sportsmanship, right? And that's what esports is trying to get into, right? If a lot, nobody's really showboating or whatever, they have
certain select groups do that.
Yeah, which is not good. Remember, it's still a public thing. You're a public figure.
Yeah.
And in some cases, you're an athlete, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you're doing that, then you're not really producing good sportsmanship and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. Keep it professional, kind of thing.
Yeah, and even if you're not professional, right? Walk away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anger management, walk away. Play the next game, right? Leave, right? You don't have to deal with that type of thing.
Yeah.
Right. That's what rage quitting is. Rage is just leave, not rage off. Rage in the game, and then you rage off the game as well. That's just. Yeah, no, that's just very bad.
Yes.
Well, not bad. That's pretty good. That was a solid thing, right? So getting back to that, and then people start trolling other people. So salty. And are there any other words for that? Like instead of being salty?
No, there's a lot of things, but salty is a popular phrase among people.
Yeah, just crying about it. It's basically stop crying about it.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I think that's it for today.
All right.
Yeah, it's been another episode of Kibitzer.
What?
All right, my name is Peter. I'm gonna rage quit on you right now.
I'm Jackson.
And communication.
Yay.